Hello there and welcome to this lesson. Today we're going to have a look at a very cool song, Who Am I, What's My Name by Snoop Dogg. We're going to do a solo guitar version and it's going to sound something like this. So, pretty cool, huh? They're the main three parts there. I played the chorus, the verse, and also there's like a part that you call, I guess, a pre-verse or post-chorus, whatever you want to call it. Three main parts. And I have written all of these parts out for tab and standard notation, and it's available for download. Now, I have a Buy Me a Coffee page, which is essentially, you've probably heard of Patreon. Well, Buy Me a Coffee is the same kind of thing, and in the description you'll find a link where you can go and you can download the tab. I've got a tab for what I just played, but I've also put in a sheet with the harmonic minor scale, all 5 patterns, and all 5 patterns of the natural minor scale, because a little bit later in the lesson I'm going to show you how you can throw in a few embellishments, particularly in the verse, to give it a bit of a kind of Spanish feel. I think it looks like this song in particular sounds really cool if you put a couple of those little Spanish licks. Actually, in that example, I think I did, that kind of thing. And that's what I think is really cool about this song as well. It's kind of like, it's quite simple. There's only 3 chords, and the parts that I've written out are actually pretty simple. So if you're a beginner, it's also a cool thing to learn. If you're intermediate and advanced, it's a really nice groove to just hang on, and you can add some of those nice little licks in and embellishments in to make it a bit more full. So I think there's something for everyone in this song. But let's start with, just as the song starts, let's start with the chorus. Let's start learning the chorus. By the way, I should mention at this point, I'm playing this song in A minor, but the original is in B minor. But all you need to do, if you want to play in the original key, get a capo and put it on the 2nd fret, and then you can play everything I'm showing you, and it'll be in the key of the original song. So it's quite simple. I'm playing it on an A minor 7. Actually, the first part of the melody, it's all on this chord. I don't even really change my fingering much at all. All of the notes are inside the chord. So I play this. Snoop Dogg, okay, I don't really have the cool gangster rap sound in my voice. I'm not really a gangster rap guy, but I'll leave the singing there. I won't continue with the singing. But all the melody is in the guitar piece anyway, so we don't need to sing. Let's go. To begin with, I'm just hitting the open A string, and then I hit the 2nd fret of the D string, okay? And then I come down to the high E and hit an upstroke. So I'm doing 2 down strokes and then 1 upstroke. And then I come back to the 2nd fret D string with a downstroke. So next, I hit a downstroke on the B. That's the next note in the melody. Now I could actually just play it like that, but in the song the bass comes down to with a G note. So what I'm doing in this piece is when I hit this note, I'm actually including this bass note as well. So, and you can do it with a nice little strum like that. You can also do it. There's something called hybrid picking where you can even play it like that, where you hit the bass note and then use your this finger here to pluck that B string. Okay. If you wanted to, you can also finger pick it. You can also go whatever you want. In the example I did a nice little little strum. The only thing with the strum is you've got to remember is you don't want to hit that high E string because you want the melody note to be this one. So I'm muting it actually. You can see here I'm actually using this little finger here to mute that E string so it doesn't ring out. You can also mute it by slightly angling this finger down and get it muted, or you can just try and be really accurate and not go that extra little bit and hit the E string. But you have to find a way, because if you go, you miss that note. You really want that to be the important note that rings out, because that's the note in the chorus. Okay. Next note, open G string. Get it? Now you can hear the whole melody. Then we move to the F chord, okay? Now, for this example, I'm playing an F like this, okay? I'm kind of not playing this A string, I'm kind of, because I'm bringing my thumb over on the low E string and hitting this bass note, and that is muting the A string. If you hit the A string and you play the chord like this, it's actually fine because the A is actually in the chord of F, but I'm not really hitting that note. If it rings, like I said, it's not a big deal. So I'm playing the F chord, which is D string 3rd fret, A string, G string 2nd fret, B string 1st fret, and then I bring that little bar. I'm doing a little bar here, so I'm playing the 1st fret on the B and the E string, so I'm getting that chord, okay? But I'm doing it with this over the top. Now, some people out there say that's not how you play an F, you're supposed to play it like this, right? You can also play the F like that, whatever you want. The thing is that with guitar, it's kind of cool to learn both. So in the case of this one, I'm doing it this way because I'm coming from this chord, and this, it's a very small motion, but if I do this one to that one, it's a much bigger motion. That's why I'm doing this one. If the purists tell you that this isn't the right way of playing an F, just ignore them. You need to learn every way of playing the F. You got to do the thumb over, because that's going to help you with like blues and jazz and Hendrixy stuff and all that. But you also need to learn the F like this. So there's no such thing as the only way of playing it. You have to learn them all anyway. So for this song, I think it's easier if you play it like this. Okay. So where were we? We were doing this. That's the note in the melody. And then you come up here with the little finger and you play the 3rd fret of the little E string. And then that adds that next note. Nice, eh? So, all together. Okay? And then we're done with the F. And now we move on to the next chord, which is the E7. And that is actually the next note. Okay? But I don't play the E7 here. I'm playing my E up here. This chord here, which is basically on the A string, 7th fret, then 6th fret of the D string, 5th fret G, 5th fret B. Okay? Cool chord, huh? What you're doing is you're actually adding this C note to an E, which kind of sounds funny. You can do it down here as well. This is your normal E you might have learned, and you can add the C here, right? Which is actually a flat 5. A sharp 5. You're adding that sharp 5, which sounds pretty cool. Actually, it's kind of Spanishy sounding. And that's another really cool thing about this song, actually, that they put that in the melody. That's actually in the melody. It's part of the main part of the melody. It goes. Cool, that's so cool. It's actually for all you theory nuts out there and people who like complicated music, that's a really cool note to choose for the melody, you know. But let's get back to the chord. So 7th fret A, 6th fret D, 5th fret G, 5th fret B, okay? And a bit like before when we were on the this A, where we did that nice strum and we made sure that we ended on that B string, we're going to do the same thing here. And then we're going to come down to the G string. These are the two melody notes that we have to think about, okay? So if we add all of those parts together, we get... Nice, huh? I don't know, I think this is a really cool tune and it's very enjoyable to play. But that's the chorus, okay? Like I said before, it's all on the download. If you go to the link, click it, you'll get that whole PDF. And it's all exactly how I played it there. It's all written out in tab and in standard notation, okay? So that's the chorus. What's the next bit? The verse. That's the simple thing. Oh, I need some water. That's the simple version. And I kept it quite simple because I wanted to emphasize that rhythm. Dun, 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 because it's an important part of this verse. And this is really the part that if you're a little bit more of an advanced player, you can really throw in some little embellishments, you know, with these scales that I mentioned before. A harmonic minor is a good one, and A natural minor. And you can throw in these little... You get some really cool Spanishy sounds, right? But if you're just a beginner, you can really just go... get into the groove, which actually is really enjoyable as well. So let's get, just to begin with, let's do the simple version, which is A minor 7. So that's just like in the chorus, your 2nd fret D string, 1st fret B string, you play all the other notes. Generally I'm not thinking about playing this low E string, you try and keep that one muted, maybe so you can bring your thumb over or just try to avoid hitting it. And then you go just with that chord. And then we bring the thumb down like we did in the chorus. Back to the first one. G, G. We're bringing that G note in. And then we come down to the F, okay? And in this case, I'm playing a bit more of a full F. Before, I did it with just those fingers, but this time I add the little finger as well, which is essentially like this one, but I'm playing it with the thumb over, and I'm barring down here again with the first finger, okay? Again, just because it feels nice with the way the chords are, I'm making less of a jump if I do that, you know. So playing it like that, and then I go down. So the F, if you don't know it, it's so you're on the 1st fret here, I'm doing with the thumb, 1st fret E, then 3rd fret with the little finger, I'm doing 3rd fret on the A string, with the 3rd finger, sorry, and then 3rd fret on the D string with the little finger. I play the 2nd finger, I'm doing the 2nd fret G string, and then I'm barring here with the 1st finger, the B and the E string, so you get that full F sound. So, and then down to the E7, right? So that's a simple open E, 2nd fret B, open D, 1st fret G, and then open B and open E, okay? And then I finish it off by bringing this note in, which is the G again, to go back to the A minor. So. The only thing I will say is that when you play this note, you can play the whole thing as a chord, but it sounds a little bit gnarly because the G there is kind of clashing with the G sharp here. So what I tend to do is I just tend to try and hit the lower part of the chord so that G sharp doesn't ring out too much. Almost just the note, you could even just hit just the note to get back to the A minor. And then that's that. That's the whole thing, and then it just loops. Now, if you wanted to add something to that, like an embellishment, you can play, I'm not going to go too in-depth about the scales at the moment, and I'll show you maybe the neck position. So you can do like an A minor, A harmonic minor, so that would be open E, 1st fret, 4th fret, open A, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open D, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, then you play the 1st fret of the G string, 2nd fret, open B, 1st fret, 3rd fret, open E, 1st fret, 4th fret. That's the harmonic minor. And the natural minor is very simple. It's just instead of that G sharp, we have a G natural. So it goes open E, 1st fret, 3rd fret, open A, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open D, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open G, 2nd fret, open B, 1st fret, 3rd fret, open E, 1st fret, 3rd fret. Like I said before, they're available for the download. The link is in the description. Now, I'm giving you those scales because I think it's nice to just create some little melodies. So if you want to add them in, like you can go, you know, things like that. You know, just little bits, and it sounds kind of cool with that kind of Spanishy vibe. So if you're a bit more of an advanced player, you can take those scales and you can just make up some little melody lines, you know, playing. That's literally just running through the scale. So just experiment with those scales and see if you can throw a couple of little licks in there. If you want, I think it sounds fun with that Spanishy stuff. Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is this really nice. One of my favourite sections in the song actually is this. I just think it's a beautiful melody, you know? And it's really simple. You just, on this A minor again, you go, you just strum it to get, and then finishing off with that high note, and then come down. So all down stroke, and then an upstroke on the, or a downstroke. No, downstroke better. So A minor, and then downstroke, pluck that B string to get that da 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 da, and then we take this finger off, and we come up here, play the G string, and you play the E string, both on the 3rd fret. These two fingers you leave in the same place, so, and you get that really nice part of the melody there, and you also get the bass coming down to the G. So, and then we come to the F again, a bit like in the chorus riff, but instead of barring here, you leave that little E string open, okay? And that gives you an F major 7 actually. And then you bring that little pinky you put on the 3rd fret. So let's get to that point from the top. So nice. And to finish the phrase, we come up to this E7, okay? It's an E7 with a slightly different fingering. You play the 1st fret of the 2nd fret of the A string. Then you can play an open D string here because that's the dominant 7th, so that is actually in the chord of the E7, so it's fine. I'm more in favour of muting it because I want my dominant 7th note to be this one, which is also in the chord. So if you want to mute it, it's kind of naturally going to mute if this angles a little bit that way. But like I said, you might prefer it with that D note ringing, in which case leave it in. It's not a big deal. Now, so 2nd fret A string, you want the 4th fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the B string, 4th fret E string. That's your chord. Very nice. It's an E7. And that's how you finish the phrase. So let's do the whole phrase. And then again. and then back into the chorus, back into the verse. Super cool. There are the 3 parts to this song. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to make this an enormous. I'm already at 19 minutes by the look of it. I've given you the 3 parts. Like I said before, go to the link in the description down below. You'll go straight to my Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can download all of the tab and the well, it's a combination of tab and a standard notation for the solo guitar piece, and also those 2 scales if you want to do the twiddly bits. And then you can just experiment with it. I think it's a really cool song. It's a really fun song to play, and hopefully you will find it fun as well. That's it from me. Yeah, go Buy Me a Coffee if you want to donate a little bit to me. That's cool. You know, I'm a struggling musician. If you can't afford it, just download it for free. Make sure you subscribe and like the video and help me out that way instead. So, who am I? What's my name? Snoop Dogg. Over and out. Ciao.